Honorable Alie. Madam Speaker, honorable members, good day. I know Member Lesufi likes quotes, so here's one for him from the scriptures. Mene mene tekel parzin. The writing is on the wall. You've been weighed, you've been measured, you've been found wanting. You know full well that the township entrepreneurs in Ekurhuleni have suffered at the hands of Family Tree Holdings and Kataras Shop Owners Association. The entrepreneurs are here. They're right up there in the gallery. I want you to look at them, Premier, because you have failed them. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, you know full well what they've had to endure. Member Mutara in absentia knows, Member Maile in absentia knows. Yet you all continue to aid and abet your service provider at the expense of those people that you claim to help. You know that Family Tree's implementation of the Township Economic Development Act has been riddled with lies. You know that they claimed a supermarket was a distribution center. Lies. You know that they fabricated the number of jobs they created. Lies. You know that a report by the Portfolio Committee on Economic Development in the 6th Administration recommended a forensic investigation into their relationship with you because they uncovered lies, lies, and more lies. And yet you shield them because they are your comrades. You choose them over those men and women up there. Men and women that you approached unprovoked and offered to assist with money, whether it's a loan or a grant, stock and equipment and training. They were fending for themselves. Yes, they were struggling somewhat to compete with foreign-owned shops and the aftermath of COVID, but against all odds, they ran bakeries, juice manufacturing plants, spaza shops and clothing lines until you gave them false hopes and hung them out to dry. Now you say there are delays in distributing the funds and that they don't qualify. Lies. Firstly, you don't have the decency to communicate this with them. Secondly, they submitted all documentation which is bandied about by your comrades to amass wealth. And thirdly, they were given training in order for them to qualify if they didn't do so before. They continue to be fleeced by Kataras Shop Owners Association, which goes door to door, day and night, collecting money from widows, orphans, and grant recipients in the name of empowering them. You should be ashamed of yourself. You want a bank? Shop. Oh, and as for us, we have taken the matter to the public protector. I stand by what I said. I said what I said. I will not apologize. Should you demand recourse, I would advise you to go to the nearest court. In fact, I dare you. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Alie. Honorable Rasidingwane.
And our citizens who are feeling helpless end up with no services. It's the fight I've began even with the Ministry of Police to say, give us proper answers. Even in education, we've got to ensure that our young people are able to start school and finish school. And even in discussions with the Ministry of Education today, it became even more so that as our kids fail, they drop out of school. Now we've got to ensure that more and more of our children remain in schools. And we've got to ask ourselves better. And, you know, we've got to constantly as a community, as citizens, as people who love this country, make sure that we are holding our public representatives accountable and we deliver on the mandate that Parliament has. So as I wrap up, Parliament has now begun its second quarter after the first quarter was defined really by configuration of government. Now we go into an interesting period where questions to ministers are coming up, questions to the president. If you've got suggestions for questions, please send them through. This is your government. You are represented in Parliament. So we will be engaged in that and we'll continue the fight. As you know, I've asked all of you to sign our petition for making the sexual offences register public. And as we finish the month of August, let's make sure that all of those people who are committing acts that are heinous, we must make sure they are known publicly. People must know who these people are, because you're not going to hire a nursery school teacher. You're not going to hire a teacher. You can't hire a children's worker, a social worker who is on the sexual offences register and not know that. Now, I've gone, and often I go and apply for this thing. It's 150 Rand, and you've got to take fingerprints, the old style. Let's digitize the system. Let's make sure we can get instant results. So that's why this petition begins the story. I hope that as we fight these battles, we can continue. In closing, Joburg. Hey, Dada, I am asking you, you cannot promise people a future of nothing. Please, let's make sure this new administration, whatever the configuration is, deliver, make sure we fix potholes, we keep the lights on in Joburg, we keep the roads safe, and let's build a city that can work for people. And so this new coalition, may it last, but ultimately may it deliver. That's what Joburg needs. Let's catch up on this touch base